if you think of movies as an independent business, every production is a different business. And if you're a leader or excel in whatever department that you're in, the better you are at understanding everybody else's job, the better leader or the better you're going to do at your own job. And if that's true in business, that's true in anything you do, and that's definitely true in production. Because the more comfortable you can be in understanding, I mean, you just have to demystify everything. And once you get it, you're able to do your job so much better.
Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast, as always, hosted by me, yours truly. I am Chris. I am that guy. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 370. Whoo, baby. Great episode for you guys today. Of course, you know I gotta mention Twitter and Instagram. Go over there, follow me. Both at Casting for Two, and however you're listening to this podcast, make sure to, leave me a little review. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know that you love the show. That's all I got to say. My guest today is a wonderful actress based in Vancouver, and we all know how much I love Canada/Vancouver/West Coast, Best Coast. Lisa Marie DiGiacinto is on the podcast, and I had a phenomenal time chatting with her. She can be seen on the CW show DC's Legends of Tomorrow. And once again, we all know how much of a DC fanboy I am. So I was excited to chat with her about that, and just a very lovely person in general. Everybody needs a Lisa Marie DiGiacinto in their life. That's all I'm saying. But I'm done talking because we need to get into this episode. So sit back, relax, and Lisa, take it away. How's your day going so far?
Good. It's been so busy since I woke up. I had an audition that I had to take for myself, and an audition that I had to take for my friend, and then I coached. I coached some people sometimes for auditions. You know, pilot season right now, so it's so busy. I'm sure you're aware. So yeah, I'm coaching a girl that I've been coaching a couple of times, and she's doing a great job. She's a little 14-year-old redhead. She's adorable. Oh. But she's newer, right? So she's a little bit more green, so it takes a lot.
Yeah. Is it? I mean, you mentioned she's newer. Is it hard seeing somebody go through that, and with wide-eyed, expectations, sky's the limit, and it's just like, look.
No, especially not for someone who's 14. I would have loved to have started film and TV acting when I was 14. But I mean, like, there's benefits and drawbacks to everything. Who knows? I mean, it's just so much easier. It really does. For some people, it takes a lot of time to get into the industry and get to a higher level and build credits and everything. So if I would have started a long time ago, I think things would have happened a little bit quicker. Not quicker, but as I was younger. But everybody has a different journey, and everybody has a different path, and everything happens for a reason. So for her, I just think it's great because she's got a lot of time to work on things. So by the time she's like 16, she's got her bearings a little bit more, and she's in a great city to do it. She has people like me to coach her. And, when I was 14, I was living in a small town in the middle of nowhere. I wouldn't even know what I was doing. It was a pipe dream to me.
So. There's something about Vancouver that is just, it really is the best, and it's a very creative city, and you feel that getting off the airplane or getting off the ferry, and it's just I love Vancouver.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I've been here for 11 years now. It's been great.
Yeah. There we go. But so, I mean, you mentioned, finding your way. I'm curious, when did you find your way into acting?
When did I find my way into acting? Well, I mean, when I was young, I used to do like little skits and everything with my sister and our friends, and we used to do like little musical theater skits that we'd make up with dances and singing and everything to like Grease. And I remember we were obsessed with La Bamba for a bit, and
Oh my gosh, yeah.
so we used to like there was a song called "Framed" in La Bamba, and I was framed, da-na-na, frame. So we actually walked with a picture frame back and forth across like a stage, which actually wasn't a stage. We just moved the chairs and like made people watch our little skits. So like a long time ago, I loved doing those kinds of things. And then I started doing drama. I started doing plays and stuff in high school. And then after high school, I just continued to do whatever community theater I could do. And then when I was in university, we didn't have a drama program or anything. And the first, like I took business in school so that I could then, once I'm done, I wanted to hurry up and finish my degree in business so I could move to Toronto and be an actor, which I just wanted to do my degree first because I just thought, just in case, because it really was a pipe dream. I was very nervous and doubtful of myself. Because it just seemed like something that didn't happen to people that are from my city, like a small town. Just
right.
It seemed like people on TV are just like not people, I don't know if you ever,
Exactly.
I don't know if you ever thought that when you were growing up, like as a kid, but that's totally how. But if you grew up in a big city where people were doing it, your friends would be off going off doing auditions when you were in gym class, kind of thing. Like this girl, she took her last period, her gym class off to come back to coach her last scene with me because she needed a little bit extra work on it because I was helping her last night, and that was like normal for her here. But for someone in the middle of nowhere, it kind of doesn't seem so normal. So anyways, I ended up moving to Calgary instead. And then I would say about 15 years ago is when I actually started film and TV. I started I went to like a private acting school for film and TV and started doing that. And I did a play, and then I ended up auditioning and got an agent, that sort of thing. And then I ended up moving here in 2008. I want to say the very end of 2008. And that's when I started here. But I'd say about 15 years ago was when I really started auditioning for film and TV and learning how to act for film and TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I saw that in between, acting, that you have some work behind the scenes as far as casting goes.
Yeah. Oh, even more than casting. I mean, it's been such a lovely like job on the side to have because I've learned so much. So for casting, I was a casting assistant for multiple award-winning, including Emmy award-winning casting director Jackie Lynn. I was her assistant for about 1.5 years or 2 years. I still work with her sometimes to this day, and she's amazing. And I also read for Maureen Webb and Colleen Bolton sometimes. So I'm a reader in the room for when people come in for their auditions.
Okay.
So I mean, that has helped me in so many ways, and because I get to read for like all the top actors in all of Vancouver, and I get to be there and read with them just from the page kind of thing. Just makes you a lot more confident to be in the moment because you really kind of have to be in the moment, and you really don't want to mess up their audition. So you really want to be there for them as much as you can. And it's not about you at all. So kind of takes you out of yourself. Yeah. So, and it's good to learn how to cold read like that too. So I've gained so much experience from that. Also understanding the business, understanding not to be so, I remember, like thinking, my first audition was going to be like the lead role. And I mean, it does happen for some people, but I look back at some of my old audition tapes and I'm just like, wow, did I actually, it's very comical to watch some of my old audition tapes and be like, I actually thought I deserved to book that over the person who booked it. It's a bit embarrassing, but I can make fun of myself all day long, so it's fine. And I think it's important to be able to do that because you got to be able to look at yourself honestly and just grow. See where you need to grow and just grow. And I'm still doing that, trust me. But it's funny to see. Yeah, I definitely learned a lot and what to expect, and you have such high expectations when you're really green in any industry. I remember even coming out of university, I had a marketing and finance degree. I thought I was going to be a marketing manager. Nope, administrative assistant. office office receptionist. And honestly, at that time I didn't even really know how to use a photocopier. So that's exactly where I should have started. You know what I mean? So it's that job really gave me a lot of life industry experience, so that I could look at things realistically. It was great. And then through that, I was able to also assist some pretty famous actors, which also got me on set and watch them in all their glory. I'm right now I'm Shirley MacLaine's Canadian assistant. So whenever she comes to Vancouver, she calls me, and then they write it in her contract or whatever, and then I'm her assistant. So I go to set with her, and on top of on top of the fact that I just get to hang out for like 20 hours with Shirley MacLaine for like a month and a half straight. I've learned so much, just so much from being on set with her, so much from with respect to like what the DOP does, and just who to talk to when I first get a set, because we never learn those things as film and TV actors unless you kind of take, I don't know. I mean, I never did in my acting classes. We never learned kind of who does what on set. We just kind of had to roll with it and act like we know. But when you're coming on set once, at first once or twice a year, or, you just don't know who to talk to, and you feel so like standoffish. But once you're on set all the time, and even if it wasn't in the capacity of an actor, but like as her assistant, I just for the next acting role I got, I just felt so much more confident on set. So yeah, I mean, I've done lots of different things, indie films and stuff too. It's just all helped me. I've written some things, some shorts, and I've been working on multiple projects for some films and some TV projects, and all of that has helped me to like look at my job from someone else's perspective. Long-winded answer. Hope it was good. Hope it was what you're looking for.
Well, oh man, we're gonna. I got a lot of callbacks to do right now. I'm just curious though. The first thing I want to double back to you being a reader. As far as that goes, and you mentioned it, that it's not about you, it's about the other person. Is there always a point where you're just exhausted throughout the day because you're trying to make the other person look good? That's got to be exhausting.
It is, but I love it because it also gives me energy as well. I'm definitely a people person. I mean, at some point when you're in the emotion with people and everything else, and you're talking to people all day, you end up wanting to go home or have a glass of wine or something, right?
Right.
But definitely, I mean, for the most part, it gives me energy, and it gives you the ability to just be in the moment, which we don't do every second of the day.
Right. And, I guess having different actors with different energies helps.
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes it's a matter of everybody being brand new, and we're just kind of testing all these brand new people. And sometimes that could be a little more exhausting because you have to work with them a lot more. But, I mean, I really appreciate the process and everybody's journey. So I'm just so grateful to have the ability to see all those things and to even try and feel that I can maybe help someone. I've read for some kids, and I've had some kids' moms come up to me years later and say, I just want you to know that my daughter's first audition was with you, and now they're doing really well. Now they're like 16, and I can't believe it. It feels like I've been doing this forever now. And they just said, she never forgot you. She never stopped talking about you and whatever else. And like, that warms my heart so much. I had no idea. All I'm just trying to do is make the audition process as easy as possible and comfortable as possible, if I can even do that for people, because I know how nerve-wracking it is, especially when you first start. So it's so rewarding in so many ways.
And the other thing that I wanted to bring up is, you saying that, of course, being familiar with all the roles on a film set is vital. I remember, because I went to film school, and it was more the production side. So of course, I know what the production side goes through, but the acting side was always a mystery to me because, I wasn't necessarily there for acting. And then I took we had a class with one of the acting teachers, and it was just the honestly the highlight of my schooling, because it was just so much fun just getting to ask questions that we would not know, or we always just wondered about. So
Yeah, it's so exciting to know. And any leader, if you think of movies as an independent business, every production is a different business. And
Mhm.
if you're a leader or excel in whatever department that you're in, the better you are at understanding everybody else's job, the better leader,
Right.
or the better you're going to do at your own job. And if that's true in business, that's true in anything you do, and that's definitely true in production. Because the more comfortable you can be in understanding, I mean, you just have to demystify everything. And once you get it, you're able to do your job so much better.
Mhm.
And to be confident doing your job and just like be there in the moment doing your job.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. And then you also mentioned that you do your own projects, you write stuff like that. Has there yeah it has have you seen that writing has helped your acting, or vice versa?
Absolutely. I remember I took a writing course. Like I've taken a couple of writing courses, and one of them was a workshop where at the end we would bring in actors to film our scenes. And I got to be
Mhm.
honest, I write stuff so that I could be the lead actress in them and the roles that
Right.
I want to play. So to have people come in and do my scene and we film it and have them read my scene the way they read it is so interesting. And it really puts yourself into it's really like you have your idea of how it's going to be. And the same thing when I'm sure when I go into auditions, people, the director or the writers there or the producer, they have an idea. They've read the script a couple times. You know what I mean? They have an idea of what the character looks like. They have an idea of how they sound in their head, the way they read it. And then someone's going to come and surprise them, or someone's going to come and do exactly what they did. Whatever it is, it could work both ways.
Mhm.
So it was very interesting to see someone else do it. There were some points when I was like, oh, no, that's not right at all. That's not right at all. But then there were some times when I was like, I could totally see it going that way, but that's not how I wrote it at all, but it works.
Mhm.
So looking at it from that perspective, if there's a way that they have in their head and they're not budging from it, and if you don't do it that way, it's because you're not that person. And it actually takes a lot less. You go and you do your job, but it takes a lot less like feeling bad about yourself because you didn't do a good enough job. But maybe you just were never the right idea in their mind, right?
Right.
Or you can think that maybe you completely changed their mind and that was so great. It just depends on the role, it depends on so many things, but just that alone can really just help you kind of like forget about why you might not get the role and just go in and do the best job you can and then leave it all up to everything. Leave it all up
Mhm.
to the universe, whether it was meant for you or not.
Exactly. Has and actors, getting started, or for whatever reasons, actors like to work. Has there ever been a situation where, look, I just need to get on set. Here's a character. I'm not quite clicking with the character, but you still go in and read for it.
Oh, absolutely. Especially in the beginning, you never say no to anything.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
you never say no to anything. And the reason is because you just want, you just want to take what you can get. One line,
right,
lines, I mean, lead, whatever. I just, and I don't count. I mean, I'm still kind of like that. I just want to be on set all the time. But
right.
I think things are a little bit different now that I know myself better as an actor. At the beginning, you think that you can do everything. That's not true. Not
Right,
everyone can do
right.
everything. Not everyone's great at character acting. Not everyone's great at being very still. Not everyone's great at being emotional. Not everyone's great at being crazy. But you usually have a niche. You usually have something that you're really good at, and you can't really stick to that when no casting knows you yet. So
Mhm.
until casting knows you, until you've got some stuff under your belt, you kind of have to go in there and throw spaghetti at the wall. I mean, it depends. Everybody's different. That's just kind of how I went with it. Maybe other people have had management that have that were able to see their strengths and weaknesses right away and push them in one direction, and it seemed to work for them. But for me, it was definitely like a bit of throwing spaghetti at the wall. And at this point in my career, I'll still do a lot of auditions, but I'll know when something's more meant for me or when it's not, when depending on the amount of stress and time I put in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, naturally, everything takes a lot of time, period, to get things perfect for an audition and ready for an audition. But sometimes you just don't click. And if you don't click, I'll still go into the audition and I'll still do, I think I still do a good job, but I can understand how someone else got it over me. And when I see who got it, I'm just like, yeah, that was there.
And something, I usually save this towards the end, but I feel like you would be the best person to ask this question. Do you have any gig horror stories, or audition horror stories, I should say?
Oh my God, audition horror stories. I mean, I've had auditions that were exactly those ones where I just could not get the lines down, could not get the lines down. So I had to do it over and over again. I would just keep stopping in the middle of it. I'd have to leave the audition room. Luckily, I have amazing, supportive casting directors that would actually let me do this. Not very many times, trust me. If I keep doing this all the time, they probably would bring me in. But because I've done so many great auditions for them before, and I've been here for a long time, they trust me and they've cast me before. So, I mean, I've actually had to leave. They're like, Lisa, everybody mixes that can't remember. I'm like, not me. And then ego comes in, and then you're like, and then everything just kind of makes you feel small and you just can't spit the lines out. So that's happened to me before, just like I'm sure it's happened. Hopefully it's happened to everybody else. And I've actually physically had to leave. They're like, Lisa, go out of the room. Go collect yourself. Come back when you're ready. It's not a big deal. And I'm like, it is a big deal. I'm trying not to cry. There I go. Oh yeah. And then there's one more. Okay, then there's this one time. Okay, and then I come back, and then actually it's really good, and I end up doing it. And then at this point, at that specific audition, I was actually on hold for it, the project. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy the casting director was able to see what was going on with me because they know me well. But if that was my first audition, I don't think I would have gotten away with it. Okay, and then the other one time was I was auditioning for a Hallmark movie, and I was the sister of the brother who's the lead, who obviously could never find love. You know how the love story goes, right? Could never find love.
Naturally.
And so I'm just like, I want you to just be in love and let yourself go or whatever, and I felt teary-eyed about it. And then at the end, it ended, and I was just, a lot of times when I'm feeling teary-eyed in the moment, they don't really want that. You don't want you to cry in the moment, and that wasn't called for. But then at the end, after the audition, I'll start crying because that's when it gets let out. And then, so I did that at the end of the audition. They're like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, okay, bye, thank you. And I'm like, I'm going to cry in the bathroom now. And I started laughing. And then the reader, get this, she was younger. And I don't know if she was an actress or just like an assistant, so who was reading for me. But she was really sweet. She's like, oh, don't worry. It wasn't that bad. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, babe, I'm not crying because I thought my audition was bad. I'm crying because of the scene was emotional. So I was just making a joke. Then I'm going to go cry in the bathroom to let it go.
Yeah.
So that was pretty humiliating, but that's just my ego talking again.
Look, there's nothing wrong after doing something emotional and you're just crying, okay?
You gotta let it out. You gotta let it out.
Exactly. The number one way I cry is watching movies, especially when somebody. Have you seen a movie called The Peanut Butter Falcon?
No. Should I write that down?
Oh my gosh. I think you should. It has Shia LaBeouf and
love him.
Shia LaBeouf's on a whole nother planet, and I love it. And people don't understand him. And I will defend him till the day I die. But he befriends this person who has Down syndrome and wants to become a wrestler. So the entire movie is just them becoming friends. And me, a 30-year-old man, bawling my eyes out because it's so beautiful.
Beautiful. I could totally see how beautiful that would be. Oh, wow. So I can't wait to watch it. Thank you.
Yes,
is it on Netflix?
I'm not sure. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know.
I'll search for
it. But and you know, selfishly, one of the reasons why I do this podcast is to talk with awesome people. But I am such a DC fanboy. I always hope that I get to chat with people on all the DC shows. And luckily, you've been on 3 of them now.
Yeah. Wait, one. Yeah, DC. Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say I know you did a good job. You're kicking butt on Legends of Tomorrow, but part of me is like, man, I want that role because I just want to be there on that set.
You want my role?
Yeah, I'll take any role.
I'll
take trash can. If you need somebody to be a trash can, I will perform the hell out of a trash can.
Okay, because you can't be Allie, okay? I've been working 15 years for this role. 15 years. I told you what I've done. I told you how humiliated I've been.
But
I earned this.
Fine. No, but okay. I would gladly just be a trash can.
Okay, I cast you in trash can.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But how's that experience been going?
Oh, like a dream come true. Honestly, remember how I said it was some roles you just can't get. I can't get in me, and I'm like, no wonder someone else got it. This role, I was like, it just felt like me. I don't know how else to explain it. It just felt quite easy for me. I just got it right away. It just clicked with me. I feel that, Allie and I personally have a lot in common. I try to identify with my characters as much as I can personally for whatever reason, obviously given the different imaginary circumstances and everything else. Right. But I did identify with a lot of that character. So the lines just came off my tongue, no problem. I learned them pretty quickly. And then I went in on the audition and I didn't feel the nerves that I do with some. I still get nerves. It depends on the role. Like I could do, I could do an EMT role that has like a lot of, no emotion and just like spit out the lines and they're all technical. And I have more nerves doing that than I have where I know I have to go in and cry. I'm like, everybody's got their niche, but I guess you can hear by the way I'm talking. I'm obviously very, emotional person. So I think that's why. But anyways, with this role, I just felt like super comfortable with it. And I went in and I didn't feel those my hands weren't shaking. I don't think. Maybe they were. Who knows? I'll have to watch the tape. I also didn't know what a big role it was going to be. I just thought it was a couple scenes. I actually thought I died. I didn't know who. I don't think I realized the scope of the character. And I just went in there and I was like, I did the role and she was cool and chill and I felt like very natural doing it. We did it a couple times, 2 different ways. And then I was really busy that week too. So I had a bunch of other auditions going on. So then my agent called me and told me I booked it. I was like, sweet, I forgot about that one. and then we do it. And then I go to the fitting and then all of a sudden they tell me I'm coming back. I think I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, it's on IMDb. So I'm coming back. At least I'm coming back. And then I was like, oh, nice. Yeah, great. This is amazing. And I just, from that to before I went to the wardrobe fitting, I just stopped and I got myself early and I got there 20 minutes early. And I sat on the side of the road and I just felt a really big emotional feeling of gratitude. And I don't know why, because honestly, I thought this was a way smaller role than I booked. Yeah. And I didn't know where it was going to go or anything, but something in me just went whoosh, and my body just felt so grateful. And I don't feel like that all the time. I actually cried in my car, was waiting, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful. I walked in the door, I met the wardrobe ladies, and they were just so nice to me. All the clothes they picked out fit me. It was just everything was working out. Then when I got on set, the writer came up to me right away. Everyone was so nice to me. The writer came up to me right away, and he was like, just want you to know, one of the writers, Tyron, he came up to me, he's like, I'm one of the writers that wrote your scenes, and I just want you to know, honestly, we all saw your audition, and we were like, that's her. That's Allie. And I'm like, oh my God, really? I just, I couldn't believe like the welcoming that I got on set, and just everything just seemed to fall into place. So I don't even remember what the question was. I just know that the role has been I guess maybe my experience. Yeah. The role has just been such a dream come true for me. And after doing all the prep, after I booked the role, I watched all 4 seasons. I ended up having to buy the 4th one because it wasn't on Crave yet at that time. And I had watched it before, but not as closely. And I was just like, wow, every season got better and better. And the writing got more comedic. And I love comedy.
Yeah.
I love comedy. I love comedy. I love it all. But I didn't realize how funny this show is and how many, like, little nuances. And if you actually pay attention and the references they're making, they're so funny. They even reference other DC shows and other CW shows. You just wait till you see more into the 5th season. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Do you notice all the great references and the references to the characters from in previous seasons? And if you watch all the seasons, you can see them, and it's just honestly so clever.
It really is, and yeah, the references are through the roof. It's one of those shows that I feel has gotten better every season, just because the first 2 seasons were maybe the first season was a pretty serious show. Then it kind of started crossing into a lighthearted but yet still fun and show where it seems like everyone has fun on the show, and they're not afraid to go to just weirdo places and take the story just weirdo play. And that's a show that I appreciate, especially with Arrow being a serious show, Flash kind of being a serious show. I think it fits in pretty well into that side, the genre side of the DC shows. So
totally, and it's so progressive.
Yeah.
And it's getting more and more progressive, and all the things, like they even talk about, I guess the last episode they talk about me giving Mick thinks I gave him an STD because he's not feeling well, and then they realize he just loves it because he loves me or whatever, right? And but even saying that on TV, that wouldn't have happened a couple of years. That would never happen. Has that ever happened? Well, I don't know. I don't watch all the shows, but it doesn't happen very much on any of the DC shows. And then all the sexuality, and I just honestly, the more and more I watched it, the more I realized how progressive it was. And even the jokes that they say, and like Bayrad being a big pothead. I'm not allowed to say that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost, how The Simpsons, when you were a kid, you didn't notice all the nuances in The Simpsons, but watching it as an adult, you're like, I see why that's funny now. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of like that when I watch Legends, and it's just happening more and more. And I don't know. It just makes me so proud to be part of it, because I didn't know how amazing it was. And I just hit the jackpot. That's how I feel. And I go to set, and they honestly have so much fun. And they get to improv, and it's so cool. I got to improv. And some of my lines from improving felt so natural, and they actually were put in the final cut in the last episode, in the episode that I was in. So I don't know, and they really do have so much fun on set, and they seem like such a well-oiled machine too.
Yeah.
So what you see is actually like the truth of it. Everyone seems so happy on set, like cast and crew, and they love to joke around, and that's just who they are. And they're so down to earth and so cool. The ones that I've worked with so far, I can't imagine. And like even that I've met some of the other ones that I haven't worked with on set at our season 5 wrap party, and they are completely cool, down to earth, and just like the character they are, except for obviously they have superpowers and everything else. But yeah, yeah.
But the only thing, if you can get this up the chain of command, I would appreciate it. The only thing missing is like a well-acted trash can. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, well-acted trash.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'd be happy to play a trash can in every scene.
Next time I'm improvising, I'll just be like, I'll take out a Kleenex, I'll blow my nose, and be like, where should I put this? In the middle of the scene while we're rolling, so that like they have to get me a trash can. I'll just be like, oh my God, I bet you if there was a trash can right beside me at all times in all my scenes, it would just be easier for me.
Yes.
the audience might start thinking I have a problem, but it's all good.
You know what? It would just make sense. At the end of the day, people will be like, "Oh, I understand that. That's a well-acted trash can. That's that one guy."
Exactly. That one guy.
And then I'll be on IMDb with that credit.
Trash can. But you're in so many episodes, so you'll have your first big recurring role. It'll be a series reg. If I become a series reg, you'll be my series reg too.
I'm fine with that. And you know what? I'll donate whatever I get to you. How's that sound?
Perfect. So I'll just take a percentage. Okay, it's okay.
All right. Yeah. Whatever. I'm not a greedy person. You can have whatever you want.
You just put out the good vibes for me to be, be in this a lot more, and I'll put out the good vibes for you.
All right. I appreciate that. Yes. Yeah. We'll help each other.
Okay.
But Lisa, thank you so much for chatting with me. I feel like we can go on forever, but unfortunately we have to stop because I gotta get my costume fitting for a trash can.
Yeah, for sure. I'll let them know if you're. You know what? I'll text the wonderful wardrobe ladies and let them know you're going to be a few minutes late already.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm on my way. But for the people at home who want to keep up with everything that you do online, where can they do all that?
They can do it probably best just to do my Instagram. And let me just see here. I mean, I'm a little bit on Twitter too. I'm just actually getting more active on Twitter. I just kind of started, but Instagram, I've been more active lately for the last couple years anyways. So you can go to _real_Lisa D. Or you can just search Lisa DiGiacinto. You can get the spelling from that on my IMDb.
There we go. Lisa, thank you so much for the wonderful chat. I really appreciate it. And anytime you want to come back and just talk about anything, I'd be happy to do that.
I would love to. We're going to talk about your debuts at Trash Can.
Thank you. So I'll let you go look for the Peanut Butter Falcon and cry your eyes out. Hopefully I haven't hyped that movie up too much. I don't know.
No, I'm a crier. I love crying. It's my favorite thing to do. Yeah. Anything that moves me. I cry over music. I cry over talking about stuff. I love it. So I'm looking forward. Thank you for the good advice. Of course.
But have a wonderful rest of your day, all right?
Thank you, too. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.